Why did the Jedi hate Anakin's dark-colored robes? Unlike the traditional Jedi robe colors such as tan and light brown, Anakin's path was a little bit different than the rest. However, he wouldn't be the first Jedi to shy away from the traditional robes. Other Jedi that wore their own garments were some such as Jedi Master Luminara, Quinlan Vos, and even Ahsoka. But unlike them, Anakin's choice for this created a lot of issues between him and the Jedi Council, and let's just say there were actually a few reasons for this. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Ever since Anakin joined the Jedi Order as a young boy, he always felt like an outcast. Unlike him, the other young Jedi all started as younglings when they were just a few years of age. They spent years developing the culture of the Jedi, and they didn't see much of the outside world. Anakin, on the other hand, joined when he was 9 years old, which was considered a late age to join the Order. By this point, he had already formed attachments with people, such as his mother, which is something that the other younglings really didn't experience. But because he came in so late, he was seen as an outsider to many, and well, he was actually bullied for it. You gotta understand, when Anakin came in, he was so ahead of everybody else in terms of skill, technique, everything. This led to the other younglings to be extremely jealous of him, and they would make fun of him for things such as him being a slave. So because of this, Anakin felt like he was always on his own. He felt like a lone wolf throughout his journey in the Order, and he felt like he didn't belong there. Not only because he didn't get along with his peers, but also because he felt as if he was so far advanced compared to everyone else. Anakin saw his abilities as way beyond his years, and as he got older, he always felt like he was held back by the Order. So because of this, he decided to take upon the darker colored robes, to stand out and to signify that he's always been a lone wolf ever since he left his mother on Tatooine. He added this color to be so far apart from everybody else, and while technically there was no rule stating that he couldn't, the Jedi were free to wear whatever color robe they wanted. Not only did Anakin take upon the darker color, but he also created these new robes to be from a synthetic leather. This new leather offered him more protection from blaster fire compared to the usual cloth. He did this because he loved the idea of fighting, and he was always putting himself out there on the battlefield. But unlike the rest of the Jedi though, they saw themselves as keepers of the peace, not soldiers, and a lot of them refused to adjust to the current times, like the Clone Wars for example. But Anakin, however, enjoyed the idea of fighting, and it's a huge reason why he enjoyed the Clone Wars so much. He saw it as a way to be able to showcase his leadership and his skills, and well, over time, he ultimately embraced his role as a general. So going back, as I said earlier, there was no rule stating that Anakin couldn't have these darker colors. But this did concern the Jedi a lot. They were worried about why he would even choose to break tradition with his new color and his new material. A Jedi's robes were supposed to reflect your personality, and well, because of Anakin's choices, they were scared that he dealt with a lot of conflict. They ultimately saw this as a red flag, and this was one of the many things that started their mistrust in him, which of course led to him later on being denied the rank of Master. He was the chosen one, and instead of the council embracing him for who he was, they resented him. They held him back in every way possible from ever reaching his full potential. But what do you think about Anakin's choices? Do you agree with him choosing darker colored robes, or do you think he should have stayed with the normal Jedi tradition of tan and light brown? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you, always.